Welcome to the Inside Track on Real Estate. And this is going to be a really special show because I have Candice St. Louis.
Hello.
And Candice is actually my daughter.
Yes.
And I'm going to throw some wild cards at her today.
Also a realtor on the Dekker Team.
Yes, she is a realtor with the Dekker Team. Been in real estate since she was knee-high to a grasshopper, I think.
Yes. Feels like that.
We used to take Candice on showings with us when she was little.
Yeah.
And we're just going to talk about some stories today.
Excellent.
Yeah. And I'm going to surprise her because normally we kind of tell her what we're going to talk about. But today we're not going to.
Nice.
So there was one time, I probably get in trouble by Canadian safety, what do they call it, CS for the kids? Yeah, I'll probably get in trouble for this one, but I'm going to tell this story.
Okay.
Goodness.
It was back in the 80s, so you're okay.
Oh, is there a statute of limitations on that? So I had to show a house, and I was looking after my daughter, and she was with us. I don't know whether we're going out for a special lunch or what we're going to do. We're going to do something. And I said to Candice, just stay in the van. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. And I was showing the house, and it was about 5 minutes into it, the doorbell rang. I don't know if you remember
No,
this.
I don't.
No? And Candice is at the door crying her heart out. And I thought, oh my goodness. And so she had figured out that the lighter, you could push in the button.
Oh, yes, now I remember.
And didn't know what it did. So when she took it out, she put her thumb on the hot end. And it gave a bit of a burn.
Yeah.
So now a lot of new cars don't have lighters anymore. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So anyways, little story, little trip down memory lane. Candice has grown up around real estate. We built a house back in, about 15 years ago. And you were heavily involved in the design of it.
Yes.
And some of the concepts and some of the turret design that we built in
house.
Your bedroom actually had a turret.
Yes. Princess.
Princess room. Yes.
I always loved the architecture of a house and the design of a house. I enjoyed those things. I liked going to showings with you, just seeing the different houses out there, the different floor plans and that sort of thing. Did I want to get into real estate as a child? Absolutely not. Just didn't like the irregularity of hours that it brought to the everyday life of the family. Growing up, becoming a mom of myself, I realized the advantages of being a realtor and that sort of thing. And so I took a shift in my thinking of how real estate was really good to me as a child. And the fact I could have you at most of my assemblies and field trips and all of that, it turned out really great.
Okay, so you'd do without me the odd night?
Yes.
So you could have special dates with me?
Yeah. You'd take me out of school because I like to fake sick a lot, and they figured that out. So they would say, Candice, you go a month to school, even if you're sick, and we'll take you out on a date for a day out of school, whether it be 6 hours or whatever, and you could do that in real estate.
Yeah, we had that flexibility.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So Candice, not only have you been in real estate for a number of years helping our clients buy and sell houses, but you've been a real estate owner yourself, and you're an investor in real estate.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I thought it'd be fun just talk about some of the houses you've taken on.
Okay.
Because you've had some real interesting situations.
Yes.
So when did you buy your first house?
I was 20 years old. The day I turned 20 was the day I signed the contract to accept the offer back and forth, and was the day we purchased the house.
Wow. Happy birthday.
Thanks. I was excited, yeah.
And so what turned out with that house?
Well, that house was a way for me to get independence, to move out, not have to pay rent, and to start paying my own mortgage instead of someone else's. So I went into that with a partner, someone that I didn't know very well, and we purchased a house together. That way we could afford the payments and get approved together. So We had a renter in there as well, which made life easier at age 20, owning your own house. And we renovated a little bit, put some slate around a fireplace, painted some walls, made it our own. But really smaller renovations at the beginning.
Okay, but what's interesting is you did what it took to get into the housing market, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't get in. I don't have enough down payment. I don't make enough money, or whatever."
Right.
But you creatively found a way of finding another lady to buy a house together and rent the third room so that you could survive very, very well. And payment, okay. And then you sold that one.
Sold that about a year later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Came out of that okay?
Yep. Broke even.
Okay. Because 1 year is a little too short to hold a house.
Yeah, it was too short. It just, we both were moving separate ways in life, and so we sold it and moved on life separately, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good. And then your next house, it was a real dream house.
Oh my. I always dreamed of having an older country house to renovate, and I remember coming into your office one day just to chat with Mom, and I saw the brochure of this century house, and I was like, "Oh, I need a house. That would be great." And Mom goes, "Not my idea." No, I don't think so. And it ended up being a house that sold for land value, and so I did end up purchasing it. I was engaged at the time, so we purchased it together, and a lot more work than I really anticipated. We thought we could get it renovated and ready for when we got married and we could move into the house finished. Definitely wasn't finished, definitely apart in many pieces. We basically took every interior wall out. It had knob and tube wiring and really old plumbing, so it had no septic system, had gray water system, and basically a little tank in the ground, a wooden tank for the septic. So learned a lot on that project.
So you learned about septic systems?
I learned about septic systems,
You learned about knob and tube wiring?
Yes.
You learned about...
How to rewire a house.
Yeah.
How to plumb a house.
Did you learn about mice?
I did learn about mice. Apparently, when we were tearing out the walls, people could see mice running away from our yard. Lots and lots of mice, yes.
and so you had a little incident with a mouse?
A few.
Yeah?
Yep.
Do they actually set off smoke alarms?
They do.
Yeah.
How
do they do that?
So in the middle of the night, one night, after we had moved in and were married, I heard this munching sound beside me by my nightstand, and I started freaking out, and my husband said, "Forget it, just go back to sleep, it's nothing." And then finally he heard it too. So we figured out where the mouse was, trapped it. He went outside to dispose of it, and I went back to sleep. Well, a few minutes later, I was woken up by smoke alarm going off saying, "Fire, fire!" And I started screaming like, "Where are you? Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, everything's fine. Go back to sleep." And I'm like, "What do you mean go back to sleep? What's going on?" And basically, as he disposed of the mouse, came back in the house, he heard a mouse in the oven, and so he cranked the oven on. And that is why the smoke detector went up.
So roasted mouse sets
Yes.
off smoke detectors.
It does.
Okay, interesting. So this house, you totally renovated it top to bottom.
Yes.
New drywall, new plumbing, new electrical.
Yeah, new septic.
New insulation, new septic system.
New windows, new doors. Learned how to install exterior windows and doors as well as interior doors and all of that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so you lived in that for
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
And then you sold that. That was a little far away from the city for you, right?
Yeah, it was a good commute. I was working near Carling and Maryville, and it took me over an hour to get to work with not obeying the speed limits. So
So
it was a trek.
so it wasn't the edge of the world, but you could see it from there?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Nice. But it had the best pizza place.
Best
I
pizza
put
place
a lot of
next
hours
door.
in that house renovating with you.
Yes. Yeah. So we got to install our own hardwood floor and do all the finishes and just make it our own. So.
Okay. And so you sold that and you moved into Greeley.
Yes.
You bought another house.
Bought another house, yeah.
Okay, so tell me about that house. That was a high ranch, not that old a house, kind of.
80s.
It was 80s,
Yeah.
so like 30 years old or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, and you had a vision for that house. Because what I love about your ability to work with clients is to envision what it could be.
Yeah.
And what we can change or modify. Right. Sometimes it's significant modifications, other times it's minor in nature, decorating, flooring, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what you do with this one that really improved the value of it?
The thing that we did with this one is it was a 3-bedroom upstairs, 1 bathroom on the main level, long double sink, cheater ensuite, and main floor laundry, funny enough, off the dining room. So,
main floor laundry off the dining room.
Yeah.
That's a good place to put it.
Not the greatest place. It was a big laundry room. The thing that I really saw that could increase the value is moving a closet, making the cheater ensuite smaller and just a main floor bathroom, putting the closet where some of the ensuite was, cheater ensuite, and converting that laundry room into an ensuite, a big ensuite off the master bedroom.
Okay.
And we moved the laundry room to the basement in the utility room.
Okay. So so the dining area now didn't have a door going into a laundry room.
That's right.
So you really changed the almost floor plan or
the flow of the house for sure.
And so you added a
third
an extra bathroom, really, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And then now downstairs was had suspended ceiling and that kind of thing, right? What'd you do down there?
So in the basement, it was really large floor plan, just like the upstairs, which you get in a high ranch. Big windows, and so what we did was we had a den or a little office. We put in another bedroom. There was a bathroom there. We just made it a little prettier. And huge open family room, about the length of the house. So really great. The other thing we put into the basement was storage. We put in closets and that sort of thing for toys and for linens off the laundry room.
Right, and you took down the suspended ceiling.
We did.
And put drywall in and pot lights and really modernized the feel of it. It no longer felt like an 80s basement, right?
No. And same with upstairs. The one thing that took a lot of time and effort, but not a lot of money, was that we scraped all the popcorn ceiling off upstairs and put in pot lights.
Like the stipple?
The stipple off.
People call it popcorn, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you scraped all that off?
Yes.
And
remudded.
And put pot lights in?
Yeah, and painted.
Okay. And then what did you do with the kitchen? Because you did a reface on the kitchen, but not a super expensive one.
Right. So what we did was we restained the kitchen cabinets, and we also to a dark modern color, and we placed granite on top of the counters, tiled the floor in the kitchen, changed the handles, and just brought it up to really nice backsplash. Yeah.
You took the carpet out too and put hardwood flooring
on
the upstairs, right? On the whole upstairs.
The whole upstairs, including the bedrooms. Yeah.
Okay, and so that renovation took you about 2 years, I think.
Another 3.
Was it 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay, but you've been living in renovation for quite a long time.
Yes.
And you came out of that one okay?
Yes. Great. Yeah. Each time we've sold, except for the very first time, which I broke even, but after that, we have been able to create enough equity to go up into a different style of house, a bigger house, closer to the city.
So you've created sweat equity, you've built up the value in the house you bought, and then moved on. And the beauty is there's no tax on that because it's your principal residence. You live there for 3 years, and you just I won't say the word putzed on it because you really worked hard on your houses. So.
But we chipped away at it. There's seasons where you stop the renovations for a little bit just to gain normalcy. And
so you don't have money or whatever, right? Yeah, wait for the money to come in.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. So through all that, you've gained a lot of knowledge to help our clients.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you're just joining us on the Inside Track on real estate, I'm Ken Dekker, and I'm interviewing Candice St. Louis. She's my daughter and a realtor on the team. Has been a realtor for, well, if you ask her mother, since she was 5 years old. When she first went to school, she took some of Yetta's cards without us knowing, took them to school and gave them out to all the students and to the teachers and said...
And the parents,
And the parents that she saw and said, if you need any real estate help, my mommy sells real estate. So she had it in the blood really, really young. So... Candice, you've got a special ability to connect with people.
Thank you.
And a really caring spirit, and I think that comes out. And so many of the times you sell your own listings because you get calls from buyers and they feel very, very comfortable in working with you, even though you have the house for sale.
Right.
And so you've got a track record of selling your own listings.
Yes.
Probably more than anyone I know.
Thanks.
Yeah. And so your knowledge comes out in spades, so to speak, when you're talking with people. And I've had people go, "Oh no, I don't want you, Ken. I want Candice because she knows how to renovate a house, or she knows what special things to do to make it better for sale, or whatever."
Right.
Not that I don't.
You know that too.
But they have this really high impression of you, and you do. You know colors. You really are special at decorating a house, getting it ready for sale or for living in.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And so if you'd like Candice to help you with your home purchase or your home sale or getting your house ready, they should call us, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
613-860-4663. 613-860-4663. And you can ask for Candice St. Louis.
Yeah.
And she'd be happy to help out. Now, what are some of the things you do to get the most value for a house when you have someone getting, saying, "Hey, I want to sell my house. I need to sell, and I need a bigger house. I need a smaller house, and I'm transferred out of the province or whatever."
Right.
What are some of the big things to do?
I'd say the biggest thing to do is just freshen up the house to begin with. One, that you don't have to spend a lot of money to do that, but it does give an overall fresh feeling of the house, which is easier for buyers to envision themselves there. So one thing I always do is paint my trim again and make sure it's bright and clean and that sort of thing. Okay,
are you going with bright white or a soft white? Or?
I go with bright white.
Do you?
Depends on the paint colors in the house. But for me, I love the bright white and the pop.
Okay, good. Now, you've had experience with septic systems.
I have, yes.
And recently you saved one of our clients a significant amount of money.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that story?
Sure. The house, great house, got conditionally sold. They did their building inspection, their septic inspection. The septic inspection came back and we were told that there was the separation wall in the tank had eroded away, which is very common for that to happen. Easy fix. And so the other thing that we were told because of that was it needed an effluent filter as well, something to help the septic bed. And they had stated, the tank is done because of those two things. We need a brand new tank. We want your sellers to cover that. And I said, that does not, entitle a brand new tank.
Okay. How much is a brand new tank roughly installed?
Around $6,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I said, that's really, you can get that fixed for a couple $100 to $1,000.
Okay.
And then the other thing they had stated was how the water and the tests they did in the bed itself, they had stated that it needed a brand new septic bed as well. Okay. So they were basically asking the sellers to replace the entire septic system, which usually runs about $25,000.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then, but something, your little spidey senses went off and you said, I don't think that's...
I don't believe it.
You don't believe it. Although you've seen failed septic systems.
I've seen failed. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And with my knowledge, I just really didn't see the validity in what they were saying.
Okay. So what happened?
So it ended up that the buyers walked away.
Mm-hmm.
That very day, we were able to find another buyer. So by the end of the day, it was after we were released from that contract, we had another offer.
So in this
signed.
slow market, you were able to find another buyer immediately.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that was fantastic.
And then you had to disclose there were some problems with the septic system, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So I explained to the realtor the things that came up in the septic system, septic report, that we were willing to cover the tank and that sort of thing. And they went forward with their septic inspection and found exactly what I had said, that the separating wall needed to be replaced and built back up. Of course, to do that, you need the septic tank pumped, right. And then the effluent filter installed as well.
Okay.
And so the buyers were comfortable with that. That's exactly what their septic inspector found as well.
So they had a different septic inspector?
A different septic inspector. And that was, it ended up being about $2,000 that came off the original price of the house to fix those things. The buyers preferred, rather than the sellers to do it, that they wanted to do it themselves. And time of year, that makes a lot of sense as well. Yeah,
hard to do when the ground's frozen. Better to pump a septic system in the summertime when the bacteria has a chance to thrive and live in the warmth, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you managed to get it resold, firmed up.
Yeah.
People are tickled pink.
They're tickled pink, absolutely, yeah.
And you saved them probably $23,000 for unnecessary repairs, really.
Yes, yeah.
Repairs and replacements.
That's
so
right.
It shows the value of a knowledgeable realtor protecting the interests of a seller.
Yeah.
Now, if that seller had been selling by themselves, they may not have had the knowledge of septic systems.
Yeah.
May not have felt comfortable they could find another buyer.
Right.
And would have done what it took to keep the first buyer.
Right.
And it would have wasted them $24,000.
Yeah.
So really, your fee was significantly less than $24,000, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So they actually saved a lot of money by using a professional.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So, yeah. So you sell properties and you show properties.
Yes.
You work with buyers and sellers.
We do, yeah.
Okay. So if anybody's out there listening to this,
yes,
they may want to call you.
I'd love to hear from them, absolutely, yeah.
Now the other thing you do is you sell brand new houses as well.
I do.
Yeah. And it's one thing that I've found a lot of buyers don't recognize is that if they're going to go into a new home sale site, they may want a realtor with them.
They're not just made, they want a realtor with, yeah.
Yeah, recently I had a client come in who had put an offer in with one builder. It didn't go through because they found after when they got to the design center that to make it what they wanted was going to be another $60,000 and they couldn't afford the house. So she came to me looking for resale or for new, and I actually knew about a builder who was offering a fairly significant discounts on some, not inventory homes, but homes they've already decided where they're going on what lot and that kind of thing. And we were able to take her to this builder and get a really good price.
Yes.
And get some upgrades thrown in that she wanted. It was an amazing thing, and she's now, she's got like 10 months to wait for her house or 12 months to wait for her house, but she's tickled pink.
Right.
And We showed her what lots would be more valuable, what lots aren't as valuable.
Yep.
For resale, what things to add as upgrades.
Yes, and where not to spend her.
Not to spend the money. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's really great. Now, you have a property coming up for sale.
I do, yes. It's in Barrhaven on Claridge Drive. It is a center unit townhouse, and it is a house that you can put some sweat equity in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect house for somebody like you.
Yeah. It's a great property either for an investor, someone getting into their first house, someone that wants to create money in their pocket, really.
Okay. And so it's a townhouse center unit, you said?
Yes. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the size of it, or number of bedrooms, bathrooms, that kind of thing.
So it was built in 2001. It has 3 bedrooms upstairs. It's a 2-story townhouse. On the main floor level, I'm really excited about, it has a den, which is uncommon.
A den?
A den. And then it also has main floor laundry off the garage. So that's really great to have that not in a basement. And then it has a family room and a eat-in kitchen. And in the basement, it also has a family room.
Oh, so it's got a finished basement?
A finished family room, and then it has some storage off of there as well, with a rough-in bathroom that could be finished. So the plumbing's there in the ground. So
for a third or fourth bathroom?
For a fourth.
Okay. Cool. So it's got an ensuite bathroom too?
It has an ensuite bathroom.
So I would expect to buy a townhouse like that would be considered kind of an executive townhouse in
Right.
300, 320 range.
Yeah, it's going to be way less than that.
Really?
Yeah, we haven't decided the exact price yet, but it's definitely going to be a deal and a steal. And so we're expecting to have that sold very quickly.
Okay, so but it's pretty original.
It's pretty original paint, builder white. And so it's ready for people to put their own touch in it and get a great size.
So you could show someone that.
I could.
And you could tell them exactly what to do to improve the value and spend a few dollars, change some flooring, and
That's
that
right.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. All right. Well, if you've been joining us on the Inside Track on Real Estate, we're glad you did. We're just wrapping up. And we want you to know that you can reach Candice or myself at 613-860-4663. That's 613-860-4663. And if you want to have your own adventure, maybe become a real estate agent and have stories to share like we've been sharing, you can call me and I can show you the steps to become a realtor. And you know, if the money was right and all the training was provided, would you think of a change in careers? And if that's you and you would say, yes, I might, give me a call. We'll sit down, we'll have a coffee, we'll spend half an hour and tell you what real estate's really like.
Yeah.
And it may be for you and it may not. But you can call me at 613-860-4663. And don't forget, if you want to be protected, get the most for your house and get it sold, call the Dekker Team. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.
Bye.
What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you.